Hi everyone, I am back with Czerny Exercise number 2 of Opus 453. This is the second exercise, and as you can see from my previous video on exercise 1, which you can find and go and watch in the top right corner of your screen, you will notice that it is quite a big difference from that first exercise. If we layer it on top like so, you can see how it differs. We are still using the same theme and same melody, but now we are basically fleshing it out, giving it body, and have to use different techniques in different areas as well. Let's quickly break this down. If we look at the right hand first, we'll notice that we have this ostinato-like rhythm. We have a repeating pattern of notes, like so, and then we have that in the left hand as well, right here. This pattern that repeats, almost like an Alberti bass as well. We can also see the same bass continuing in the second section, and then it is almost as if it is handed over to the right hand, but this is not an Alberti bass anymore. So it is very, very important to know these differences before you attempt the exercise. We also need to take note of certain movements within our hands. The first movement will be with the thumb moving to G in the third bar, as well as with our third finger. So this here is basically a hand position change from C to B. And then of course we are going to have a big stretch with our thumb down to G and then up again to G right there. We then have a scale-like passage, once again walking down to C, so no hand movement or hand changes here, except for in the left hand where we have the forefinger on C, preparing us to move down very easily to the G, ending our first section. In the second section, we need to take note of the stretch in our left hand, 3 to 1, D to G, as well as the fifth finger that's on B. So these here are very important to take note of. The right hand stay in the same position as with what we finished at the end of section 1. We have another movement with our second finger going to C in this bar here, as well as a stretch down with our thumb to A, and then up again to A 1 octave higher. The thumb here in the left hand also has a stretch to F, or a movement to F rather. And this section here is the start of a very, very important technique. Where we play certain fingering in order to get it legato, but also create a type of slur line. 5, 4, 3. The same note A, but with our fifth finger, our fourth finger, and third finger. And then walking it down, A, G, G, F, we are playing 4, 3, and again 4, 3, swapping out our fourth finger with our third on G. The last movement we need to take note of is again in the left hand with our thumb moving to G, then stretching all the way down to A, so that we can end very comfortably on our second finger on that middle C. let's first have a look at the right hand. Very easy, but now remembering the first movement, thumb to B. The hand moves into a new position, so that we can easily stretch down to G and then up again to G an octave higher. Walking it down, scale-like passage, and then our hand is in the same position as if we started, which is excellent for the fact that we need to repeat. New position, stretches down an octave. Scale-like passage. Now, the left hand is going to stay in this position for the second section. Now, second moves to C, so that the thumb again can easily stretch, this time not to G but to A. Now, this technique, going up to an octave above, on our fifth, on A, then 4, then 3, 4 again, 3, swapping out, 4, 3, 2, now look closely, the fifth finger needs to go to G, 4, 2, ending with our thumb, same starting position. So in fact here we need to take note of this movement with our fifth to G. It's a smaller distance, the fourth gets omitted, so that we can have the fourth on F getting our hand in the same position as we started. Then we repeat again. So there's a lot going on with the right hand that we need to take note of. And remember, Czerny is there to help with technique. So play right hand and left hand separately so that you can actually feel the different techniques that you need to learn. If we have a look at the left hand, starting on middle C with our pinky, fifth, long semi-brief note, nothing strange here. Now, the fourth needs to move to C, but the thumb is kept on G, all the way down to G an octave lower. And we repeat, we have to lift up our hand to move back to our starting position. Now we have that Op back to bass again. The fourth moves to C, and then all the way down, G an octave below. The second section now starts with our third finger on D, thumb stretched to G, 5 on B, 4. Now, the thumb needs to move to F, 2, 3, thumb back to G, all the way down an octave, and now resting our hand in this position, we end with our second. Repeating requires us to lift up our hand again, moving our hand to the third finger to D, stretching up, thumb to F, 3, thumb to G, all the way down an octave, relaxing our hand, finishing with our second finger on C. Once you've mastered playing both hands separately, you may now try and put it hands together. Starting position. Very slowly. Trying to keep as legato as possible using the correct fingering. Thumb moves. All the way down to G. You might want to move your thumb out of the way for that one. Then up to the fifth, an octave higher. Fourth moves to C, all the way down, stretching an octave below in the left. Repeat. The right hand won't move, but the left hand needs to move back, third finger on D. Thumb stretches to G. Second on C. Now, thumb on A, thumb on F. Remember this technique. 4, 3, 4, 3, 2, pinky moves to G, all the way down, both hands are relaxed for a solid ending. Repeat. Right hand is in the correct place, left hand isn't, move the left hand. Remember the thumb moves, pinky on 5, pinky or fifth finger on G, all the way down. So quite a tricky one to do. Take things slow. I'm going to play it one more time without any commentary. If you found this video helpful, please remember to check out Czerny Exercise number 1, as well as the exercises I've started recently for Opus 599 as well as the Hanen exercises. Thanks for watching.